As mentioned at the outset, distance education is a worldwide trend, with the biggest universities in the world being devoted to distance and open learning. We invited our global experts to comment on the particular situation in their own country, and where better to start than with one of the world's mega universities, the Open University of the United Kingdom.
So we've had nearly 2.5 million students have been through the Open University, not only in the UK. We believe we do it a lot better, and we obviously do it at a scale that most universities can't do. But the fact is that we are now in competition with virtually every other university who not only has part-time operations, but has a mission, has a stricture upon them from the government to widen participation. The other thing which is quite seriously different is that with the internet and technology being what it is, and borderless education being a reality, it's not just the Open University who makes itself available to students who want to continue their studies or upgrade themselves or whatever. They can do it virtually anywhere, anytime, with all sorts of different institutions over the internet. So the competition now is absolutely fierce.
And the 1st of March of this year, which is only a few days' time, all of our tutors will be online. I think virtually all of them are now because it's almost there, and they will be looking at all their student records online. It's part of the contract that we have with them. In terms of our students, we have about 88% of them who are online. It's not a requirement that they should be online. Eventually, in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm sure that it will be a requirement, because it will be a requirement that when they're learning in higher education, they have ICT skills. And so those skills will be built into the courses, and we'll be using them for student support.
Well, I believe that the impact that's what's happening in Canada is that what's happening is that the open side of distance and open learning is disappearing for 2 reasons primarily. One is that tuition fees are increasing significantly across North America, and secondly, that in order to be competitive, institutions that have had open mandates in the past have to move much more to the competitive market. And so what the system is losing primarily is the open side of distance and open learning. The distance side is persevering and is being transformed into online learning, but it's online learning without openness. We're still in the process of transforming the curriculum and the delivery system from a traditional print and telephone support system into an online model. And I think that one will always be in that process. I mean, I don't think there is a clear distinction between distance and online. It's a continuum. And clearly the continuum is moving more towards online. And fortunately, some of the hype about online is beginning to dissipate, and so we can make sensible decisions that are driven primarily by pedagogy, not by positioning. Our current statistics are such that 94% of our students have online access from home.
Transnational education is a big business. My university is the largest provider of courses to students who remain in their own countries from Australia, for example. We have 2,000 plus students here in Hong Kong. We have over 7,000 students in all, most of them in Southeast Asia, but not exclusively so. But what I'm very conscious of is that the arrangements that we have to enter into with partners to make that a viable commercial and a viable educational proposition means that too frequently we're not spending the time that we used to spend thinking about developing systems which actually provide services to meet the needs of students as and when they need them. We're much more, I think, oriented to working through the difficulties that being in another country, in a new legislative context, working with a new partner with a different organisational culture has, than focusing on our students as individuals.
现在我们在中国农村搞远程教育有3种形式，一种就是用送光盘，就是给他一个电视机，然后把光盘送给他；第二种呢，就是我们 这2年跟李嘉诚基金会一起合作做成的这个4点，用卫星从空中接 Internet 的这个界面。第3种呢就是这个计算机教室。那我个人认为这3种不是割裂的，不是分开来的。要从农村来讲，我认为第2种就是用卫星接收应该是主要的。为什么呢？首先是有很多地方通光纤很困难。第2呢，通了光纤，这个经费也很大，就是你从光纤接收啊，海量的信息，就是很多信息的话，它比较困难。
The University of South Africa is obviously a mass-based university. South Africa as a society is going through major challenges relating to HIV/AIDS, and that has a major impact on the economy and the driving of a developing economy. It has a lot of impact on, particularly on teachers and teacher education. The University of South Africa has been involved with training other educators across the country, but also educators from elsewhere in the continent, designing education programs and learning programs on HIV/AIDS, all aspects of HIV/AIDS. So I'd like to think that as a responsive higher education institution, and we have been attempting to be responsive to this challenge as UNISA as well.
不久的将来啊，我们可能会完成的一个就是这个开放式教学媒体整合平台。那么这个平台建构了以后呢，我们会把过去啊空中大学大概有500-600科的课程，我们会把它数位化，就是数码啊，然后我们会把广播的节目也把它数位化。就是电视的节目、广播的节目跟我们的教科书啊。空中大学呢，它是每一个课程我们都会有教科书的，教科书我们也把它数位化，然后呢，再加上我们的远距教室啊、远距教学，我们会把它全部把它衔接起来啊，把它整合起来。那么这个平台呢，我就把它称为叫做这个教学媒体整合平台。那么这个平台如果建构完成以后呢，那可能就因为就是一个很完整的一个网络教学。